Order of operations, what to do first. In this video, we will review the order of operations, what to do first. So what are our operations? In math, there are several. You're very familiar with our four basic ones, which are adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. In an expression where there is more than one operation, the value of an expression will depend upon the order in which you perform these operations. There are several rules which we all agree to follow so that we will all reach the same answer for a problem. Our rules for order of operations are parentheses, exponents, then multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. PEMDAS is the acronym that we associate with our order of operations. Many of you are familiar with the order of operations mnemonic that we use, which is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I have one that I like better, which is called PEMDAS eat mustard on dumplings and apples with spice. I like this one better because it emphasizes that mustard is happening at the same time with the dumplings. Mustard is on the dumplings, so we're doing multiplication and division at the same time. And apples with spice implies that the apples are with the spice, addition and subtraction at the same time. So with the PEMDAS eat mustard on dumplings and apples with spice, notice that the panda eats two separate courses. He has dinner and then he has dessert. Multiplication and division happen together at dinner. They have the same priority, and we do whichever comes first from left to right. The same is true for addition and subtraction. They happen together during dessert, so they have the same priority as each other, and we do just whichever one comes first from left to right. Take a moment and work these examples on your paper using your order of operations. Please pause the video. You should have gotten 13 for the first one and 24 as your answers for the second one. Let's try one with multiplication. There are three operations here. Can you identify them? You should have identified subtraction, where we have 12 minus 3 times 4. Multiplication, our 3 times 4, and addition, the product of 3 times 4 plus 1. Pause the video while you work it out. We no longer have only addition and subtraction. We must do any multiplication or division before we do addition or subtraction. In this problem, you would get 12 minus 3 times 4 plus 1. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 plus 1. 12 minus 12 is 0, and 0 plus 1 will equal 1. Please pause the video while you try these examples. Remember, first, do grouping symbols and exponents as needed. Second, multiplication or division as you come to it from left to right. Addition or subtraction as you come to it from left to right. You should have gotten 12 for the first one and 9 for the second one. When problems involve multiplication and division, we perform the first of either that we reach as we move from left to right, just like reading a book. So apply this rule by evaluating this expression. You should have gotten 63 as your answer. Work these examples on your paper. Please pause the video while you do so. You should have gotten 16 as the answer to the first example and 24 as the answer to the second example. Here's an example to try with grouping symbols. The problem is 12 minus 8 divided by 2 plus 5 within our grouping symbols times 2 plus 1. We first simplify what's inside the parentheses, that's our panda. And since 2 plus 1 equals 3, we get 12 minus 8 divided by 2 plus 5 times 3. Our next word in our mnemonic was eat, but since there are no exponents, we move on to the panda's first meal, the mustard on dumplings. It's time to find all the multiplication and division and do them from left to right. Division comes first in this example, so since 8 divided by 2 equals 4, we're now left with 12 minus 4 plus 5 times 3. Continuing this example, Next, we're going to do multiplication, and since 5 times 3 equals 15, our equation now reads 12 minus 4 plus 15. Now it's time for our PEMDAS second course, which is dessert, addition and subtraction as they happen, working left to right. So since 12 minus 4 equals 8, then we have 8 plus 15 left. 8 plus 15 equals 23, which is the final solution. Just a quick note, sometimes in our expressions we will see unusual things that we aren't sure what to do with. For example, absolute value bars and square root symbols. You can think of absolute value bars the same way you think of your parentheses. You do whatever is inside them first. Here's an example, 3 times the absolute value of 4 minus 9. Treating our absolute value bars like parentheses, I would do 4 minus 9, which is a negative 5. But since it's absolute value, I know that it will be a positive number because absolute value is always positive. So I get 3 times 5, which is 15. The other symbol that you may wonder what to do with is the square root symbol. Since the answer to a square root is a number squared, and that has to do with exponents, we would treat square roots the same way that we would exponents. For example, the square root of 36 divided by 3 minus 2 times 4 minus 4 plus 1 in parentheses. First we would work our parentheses, our panda, and since 4 plus 1 equals 5, we get the square root of 36 divided by 3 minus 2 times 4 minus 5. Next we address our exponent, eats, which means in this case our square root. Since the square root of 36 is 6, we get 6 divided by 3 minus 2 times 4 minus 5. Now we're going to take care of our first course, which is multiplication and division. Mustard on dumplings, remember? Since 6 divided by 3 equals 2, we get 2 minus 2 times 4 minus 5. Next we'll do our 2 times 4, which is 8, so we get 2 minus 8 minus 5. Now our panda is going for dessert, our addition and subtractions. Remember our apple with spice? Since 2 minus 8 equals negative 6, we get negative 6 minus 5. Now we can solve for our final answer, and when we subtract 5 from a negative 6, we're going to get a negative 11. Congratulations! Here's what we've learned. When a problem involves more than one operation, we use this order to simplify expressions. First, our grouping symbols, which include absolute value bars, and you must always simplify expressions with exponents and square roots before you can calculate with them. Next, multiplication or division as you come to it, reading from left to right, just like a book. And last, addition or subtraction as you come to them from left to right. Here are a couple of practice problems for you to do. Please pause the video while you perform these practice problems on your paper. For the first one, you should have gotten 46, and for the second example, you should have gotten 14. So how do I remember our order of operations? The order is usually stated as follows. Parentheses, which are our grouping symbols. Remember, those also include absolute value. Our exponents come next, which we would also do square roots during that time. Multiplication or division as we come to them from left to right, and then addition and subtraction as we come to them from left to right. There are 3 popular mnemonic devices to help you remember the order. Choose the one that works for you. We have our PEMDAS, which helps us remember the first initial of each of those. And then Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally, or my new favorite, Pandas Eat Mustard on Dumplings and Apples with Spice.